Well, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another Life of a Board Gamer review. And today we are going to take a closer look at the game called Villagers. It is basically a card game where you are using all type of different workers and trying to build your engine, your village, to best you can. And it has some nice and interesting mechanics in here. So let's get down to the table and let me show you what's inside this box. Okay, so let's check out what we have in this box. Okay, so we'll start with these things here, and basically this is your chest, and you will be having some coins here depending. I think since this is a Kickstarter version, you might not see this in your box, so don't get discouraged, because these, even though these are good, these are really not that necessary. But these are really nice wooden, and as you can see, they're pretty thick components. These are the printed money symbols on them, which how much all of them is worth. And let's continue to the main thing. Okay, so first let's show you the rulebook. So the rulebook is not that hard to understand. It's really easy. Most of, as you can see, there's lots of examples of how to play the game, solo mode, and some additional solo mode rules, clarifications, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really not that complicated of a game. So we'll go over this little box as the last thing. So I want to show you the cards. Okay, what you get in this game is a bunch of cards that you will be playing in front of yourselves. So first of all, we have these cards, and these are like winter and summer cards, and these are used if you are going to play a solo mode, which I still haven't played, so I don't know what they do. But yeah, you play with these cards if you go with a solo mode. Then we have the road setup cards, and these are basically your starting cards that you will have laid out like so in front of everybody. And when it's your turn, you will pick one of these cards, put it in front of yourself, and then wait for other players to pick up some cards, and then you will pick this card. And then, depending how many cards you can pick up each turn, because that number will change, you will build some cards, and you can also build depending that number will change throughout the game. So you will be putting these cards in front of yourself, and they will be bringing you some money, extra buildings, and extra people that you can take on your turn. And this here symbol shows you how much cards are in need. When you have the harvester, other cards might pay you some money if you have harvester in front of yourself. So you will be picking these cards, and these are just the starting basic villager cards. Let's just keep them organized so I have less thing to worry about when I have to assemble it all over again. So we have these basic villagers. These are the Hayer, Lumberjack, and the Miner. And you will notice that they have this little symbol here that shows two cards. What that means is, when you put, let's say for example, Hayer, you will be able to put two cards on him, because Hayer can have up to two cards. So I'll show you how that works in a second. I'll not show you with these cards because we have much more cards than this to show you with. Okay, so we have a player setup cards. So this is a first player card, which is just passed around the table, and these are used so you know when it's the first and the second scoring, and I mean the first and the second scoring, and after second scoring the game ends. And some player aids which each player will get. And then you have these founders. These will start in your village. You will start with these cards in front of yourself, and you will start with the village square, where you will be keeping your cards when you draft them. So you place the cards here, so you know how many cards you drafted this round. And over here there's a turn sequence explained if you are needed the reminder for that, and each player will get one of these. And this is the main body of the game. It is these cards. So these are the villager cards, and these cards will be, some of them will be face down, but some of them will be face up throughout the game, coming new cards constantly. And once you acquire them, you can put them in your village. So But the great thing is it comes in all kinds of variety of colors, which means they all do different stuff. For example, these solitary cards, they always go solo by themselves. They cannot combine with any card and they will bring you some abilities or whatnot. But let's say, for example, I wanted to show you with the hair. So let's say you purchase this guy, you have him in your village, and once you have him, you get your hands on the horse trader, and horse trader says here you need to have a hair to put a horse trader in a game. So, and you put it like so. Now this symbol shows you can have two cards, one here and one here. So you can put another horse trader if you want here, or maybe you can use a Thatcher, since he also requires to have a hair in your city that is available. Of course, if it's filled up, you will need a new one, and you can put a Thatcher here. Now some cards go even further than just one, like let's say basic and then one. You can go with 2 or 3 cards away. I mean in the same color. I just put this as an example. So for example, this Grazier, I think that's how it's pronounced. He requires that you have a hair and you put it like so, but after the Grazier you can put a milkmaid and then a fromager. Now if that cards show up, so I will, if for example, oh here they are, both of them. So throughout the game I get my hands on a milkmaid. I can put it on a Grazier because Grazier shows me it can receive one more card on him, and it is a milkmaid that has to be put next. And then when you put a milkmaid, fromager is next, and this is the final card that will earn you whatever you get from him. Oh, I'm sorry. Grazier goes here, milkmaid, and then fromager, if I find it really quickly, just so I can complete my explanation. Okay, so these are super rare because now when you put it, you will earn 15 gold and 1 extra villager to draw each turn, which is super hard card to get to. And basically that is what you will be doing throughout the game for each of the colors except this one, because these are solitaire, and there's these red cards. These are special that usually are just one-time abilities, or they give you some ultra cool extra special stuff. And of course there is some extra cards here. If you are playing 5 players, then you will also put these in the play, and these wool cards will show up now because they are not in this base deck. Yeah, they are not. So you will put these in a game. And the last thing I want to show you is this Kickstarter expansion pack, which comes with some nice goodies. Let's just put this aside. Okay, so first of all, you get some of these wooden components and they look really cool. So instead of using that first player card, you can use this token, which is awesome. And then you have these 3 buildings that you will be trying to get in your village because they will bring you some extra points depending on what you draw from the deck. Okay, so over here we have the rules for these expansions, and these are few little expansions that come with this Kickstarter expansion pack. So first of all, we have these like moon thingy over here. I'm not really sure what they are called. They are called scoundrels. The scoundrels, these cards are really mean cards, so I never played with those because this game really doesn't breed a mean feeling to me. So then we have a profiteers. Profiteers are these gray icons, and profiteers have these bronze coins that will bring you after each build phase some income. Usually you don't get income after each build phase. And then we have saints and the developments. So saints are these special cards that will give you some extra cool special abilities. And then we have these, which is basically these 3, not this one, but these 3 wooden components. And for example, you will put one of these, so there is like 4 of each of these, and you will randomly shuffle and take one. So this one will tell you the most solitary symbols. Whoever has the most solitary symbols will get this building in his town, and he can take some basic cards and have 3 gold in a production phase. and stuff like that. They will earn you some extra thing that you will turn after turn try to win over against other players. And that's everything that comes in the box of villagers. Okay, so that was Villagers. And first of all, this is a Kickstarter version. So some of these things you might not find in your version of Villagers if you have them in a retail. So be aware of that. This is a lumberjack pledge, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, let's talk about components. Components, these coins, these are just wonderful. Now they on purpose made them so generic that you can use them in any game you need. So for example, if you have a game, you're playing the game that has a cardboard money, you can just go, nope, wait, get this off the shelf and you can play with this, which is super awesome. But also you can keep it in a villagers like I do and use it for villagers, right? The artwork itself is absolutely gorgeous. I really like the minimalistic look of this artwork. Is something that I really like. It is so simple yet so intuitive. When you're playing 5-player game, you need a kind of bigger table, and it's really easy from afar to see what each card that comes up does, because there is a drafting in this game. You draft your cards, so you need to know what the card does, and it mostly relies on the symbology, and it's all you need. And if you are searching for a specific card by name or something, the names are really big, and they really like, you take the card, you see this is a grocer, it is really grocer, it is really easy to so what does this one say? Smuggler, right? So yeah, it is really easy to read the cards, what they do and everything. There are some special cards with extra text on them, but once you read them, you kind of can't forget them because there's not like a bunch of them, so you cannot remember all of them. So that is also really cool. So I like that. Even though it's minimalistic, it's really functional and it looks pretty, it looks nice, and that is something every board game should strive for. Now the game itself plays really smoothly. It is basically a drafting game where you draft some cards and then you play some cards depending how many some type of icons you have in your village. I won't go into all the explaining of the rules and everything. So it is really nice, easygoing game. People are drafting cards, playing cards one by one. There is expansion in this. I think this is a Kickstarter version of expansion. Yeah, this is Kickstarter expansion pack. I'm not sure if that's available or not, but there is few cards there that can mess up with other people's villages, but we will completely skip over that because we don't play with that. This game is not meant to be that PvP, if you ask me. So it's really a leisure game where you just build your city, watch others what they are building, because some of the cards you need to pay. And if you have the guy, like for example, you need a blacksmith, and if you don't have blacksmith in your city and somebody has a blacksmith, you have to pay them 2 gold because their blacksmith is working for you. But if you have the blacksmith, then the bank pays you 2 gold and you earn some extra points that way. It is really gorgeous mechanic. But yeah, overall the game it plays perfectly smoothly. It is really nice game. It kind of gives you that feeling of Seven Wonders, but there is no really drafting of the cards. I mean, you draft the cards, but from the common pool from the main on the table, from the main area. You don't go like in your hands and pass them around like in Seven Wonders. And I have this civilization feeling when I'm playing this game. And I don't mean the game Civilization itself, but the Civ game as it is. So you are building this city. There's it is getting populated with I mean village, not city. It's a village. Let's be honest. And it is starting to get populated by all kinds of different workers that are coming to work in your village and give you and earn you some points and money that way. It is really light Civ game, if you ask me, even though that's a stretch of the wow. I'm stuck for words. I know it is not a Civ game. I'm not saying it is a Civ game, but it really gives you that feeling of a civilization game where you are building your cities and expanding. Here you are building your village and expanding your village, and people are coming and start to work for you, and all these chains that you are trying to collect of different workers that need our other workers to be better, so you can play them. It is just an awesome game. I was really not expecting to love it that much. If you already didn't notice, I am in love with this game. This game is so good, and it plays super fast. Even with 5 players explaining the rules, you can be done in like hour and 20 minutes maybe, which is really not that long when you consider it's a 5-player game. There's drafting and everything. So if you like this type of games and you think this one you might like, I definitely encourage you to check it. Check this one, because I think it's really nice game with lots of cool things that you can do, and definitely check this one out. It is really a great game. And if you still didn't, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you didn't know, once we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm pushing this giveaway. So we are currently at 810 subscribers or so, depending when you are watching this video. But once we reach 1,000 subscribers, you can get a bunch of different games, promo codes for Android phones, all kinds of different stuff. So be sure to subscribe and check out other videos. There's also Patreon. It's really not the best Patreon you ever saw, but I'm working on reworking it. So go check it out. There are some exclusive videos over there, and there will be more coming soon, probably in about a month or so. And yeah, you can do all that or don't. It's really up to you. So that is that. Until next time. When you look at your cards or other players' cards, you immediately see what they have, what they don't have, what they need maybe, or something that depends on the game. This is a Kickstarter version, so I'm rambling stupidities. Just rambling. Want to be more of a light side, not that civilization game side. No. Okay, so that was Villagers. Now, first of all, this is a Kickstarter version. Kickstarter version. Oh, this one is going to the bloopers for real. This video was brought to you by philibertnet.com, the game in all its states.